Is your first time here, a big welcome to the call as well, and just a brief introduction. So this is the daily currency call where we analyze the currencies as follows. So on Monday, we've got the Aussie and the Kiwi. On Tuesday, we have the Euro pairs. On Wednesday, the pound pairs. Thursday, we have the yen pairs and gold. And for Fridays, we have the Cad pairs as well as crypto, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is the currency call where you'll get market economic activity updates, including economic events and the significant events to pay attention to, as well as educational points to understand to help better create trade ideas and planning setups. You'll also get shown the key support and resistance levels as well, applicable to putting trade ideas together as well. And this trade call and currency discussion will be particularly valid for both the long-term and short-term traders as well. And we will go through what could move markets, potential trade ideas, and we'll also discuss the potential targets for your trades, as well as stop loss positions and the risks. Quick disclaimer as well, this is important. So the ideas and discussions shared in this call are simply just ideas, they're not recommendations. So please make sure that when you do listen that, you just, take this as a learning call, and make sure you do your own analysis as well prior to entering any trades as well. So to start off with the call today, I'll just run through the US dollar analysis and, an interesting session last night as well. I'll just get the charts up here thanks to Sam Trade. So I've got the US dollar up here on the 1 hour time frame. And we did see, honestly, it was, to plan, although there were some, it was not as dovish as expected. And we also saw, so from the US dollar, we can see nothing dramatic happened. So it's always nice to just have a look at the chart, see what happened overnight. If you just, waking up or you've just seen the charts, we did see it move above 93 and we're holding above 93 as well. So just to go through the key economic events from last night as well. Well, last night for us in this time zone, we did have, so for Thursday, GDP. Now, we've discussed this several times in the week as well. We did come slightly under, but we did beat the previous quarter for the GDP quarter on quarter. So I would say that that's not overly bullish, but it definitely helped the longs on the US dollar. And then we had the GDP Price Index, and that did slightly beat. And then the initial jobless claims, even though it did come at just over expectations of 350, it was in that range where it was acceptable. And it wasn't like it was a great deal higher than what was forecast at 350. And then obviously the Jackson Hole Symposium began, but we honestly saw a little bit of a retreat in equities, and we saw I would say a mild risk off mood in markets. So that just means, in equities, we just saw them pull back a little bit, which is more than fair, just considering the significance of the event as well. So obviously there was two sides of the fence to be on. We did warn caution. There was a great pound USD short trade called out in the EchoFin group with the Traders Club as well. And I'm still in that. So that is aggressive, but that was called out, way above 3700. So that's been a great trade. But in regards to the US dollar itself and what we will likely see for tonight, we do have some significant news, and it's just tough to say let's aggressively short or even tentatively short the US dollar. So I would say if you're not in any positions, now's probably not the time to just go, let's get in. Conservative plan would be just to wait for the daily candle to close. But along through what we are now seeing, the base is established at the low 93s. I would say I'll continue to hold my trade, but I don't mind doing that if the entry was good enough, which I think it was. So more, buying is likely to happen on the US dollar. We're going to have to see a dramatic miss on the price index, the core price index. And I just feel, the probabilities are in the favor of long US dollar right now, guys, heading into tonight. Now, up next, we do have the CAD pairs in focus, and we also have discussions on cryptocurrency. But the CAD pairs to start with, we've got Jin. And just remember, guys, at the start of this discussion, we will have some key learning points as well. So pay attention and enjoy. Thanks, Jin.
Did you say it's my turn?
That's it.
All right. Okay. So Scott has put me in a position. I started off today thinking I might not do a bit of an educational bit, but because he has said that, I shall do it. So while I'm doing that, so I'll share with you here, this is the US CAD on the H4 time frame. We will be talking more about where I think CAD could be heading into the short to medium term, right? So the main thing about how we do this currency call, what we do here on a daily basis, is that we're giving you targets for the short to medium term. What I mean short to medium term is things that could happen over the next couple of days, all the way till the next time we talk about that currency pair. So for example, the CAD here, whatever I'm sharing with you, I expect it to take its time to get to that point, probably within the week all the way to the next time we talk about CAD, which is next Friday. But before I get into the analysis of the US CAD, a lot of times retail traders get very emotional with their trades. Retail traders look into analyzing a trade, and then you end up, when you finally decide to jump into a trade, what happens? You get into a trade and then you realize it's too late. It's usually the case that a retail trader will enter a trade and almost immediately you see it reverse against you. So earlier this week, I shared about using support resistance lines, identifying trend. One of the other tools that we use to tell you when it's a bit too late to get into a trade is also the Bollinger Band. You can see here that green line, that very faint green line that I have there. We use that as a tool, as an interpretation of the price action to tell you when it's too late to get into a trade. And how I've actually simplified it for retail traders out there, if you get your hands on this tool, reach out and can send you the tools here, is that you can see for that blue arrow. The blue arrow there, I'll zoom in a little bit, in conjunction with the resistance line, actually tells you that's a point where it's too late to get into a buying position. That big shoot up together with the Bollinger Band, that big shoot up, usually most people get emotional and rush into a trade at the top there, ignoring that support resistance line and buying. And the next moment you see is it reverses against you and it comes all the way back down. So that blue arrow there tells you it's too late, don't get into a trade. It's more likely to reverse. The same thing here we saw is that blue arrow again at that support level, telling you it's a little bit too late again. If you did buy there, it would have set here on the H4 time frame over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and almost 6 candles before it resumed its upward move. 6 candles is a good 24 hours of a waiting time before it started going up again. So these kind of waiting periods or these kind of big reversals actually hits a retail trader's confidence significantly. So this is one of the reasons why I have this, I've implemented this blue arrow or even the red arrows here telling you that it's either too late to buy or too late to sell. This is an add-on to the standard Bollinger Bands that you can just apply onto your templates. This is an add-on to really make it a very visual thing to tell you when it's too late to buy or to sell, and to make your trading a little bit less emotional. We all know that once you get emotional with your trades, that's where your profit and your losses get out of control. So that aside, if you haven't already got the tools, reach out, we'll send you the tools. But that aside, we will now proceed on to looking at what could move the US CAD over the next week. So with that, we look at ForexTradingAsia.com here, looking at the economic calendar. We've had last night, the US GDP number, quarter on quarter, as Scott was sharing, 6.6%, not as high as we expected, but still within that range. So this is one reason why we saw some US dollar strength, but not a big sustained move towards US dollar strength. So moving on from that, today we do have a whole bunch of US news. Not a lot happening in the afternoon here, but a whole bunch of US news. But the main thing to pay attention to will be the Jackson Hole Symposium, which we have spoken to depth about yesterday already. Fed chair speaking at 10 o'clock, and then the consumer sentiment looking at a steady 70.7. No real CAD news. I wouldn't pay too much attention to this one. I've already shared with you as well what are the variety of news that I pay attention to. Following on from that, what else could happen on the CAD front? Let's look into the news next week. Right, on Monday, in terms of CAD, just focusing on the CAD for now, we do have current account that's not going to move prices in the short to medium term, so we're not too concerned about that. On Tuesday, we have a lot of news, so bear in mind next week will be the end of the month, the start of the month as well for August and September, so pay attention to this. There's going to be a lot of news to be released next week. But as I scroll through, what you'll notice is we only have the CAD GDP towards Tuesday next week, and CAD GDP on a quarter to quarter is looking at a 1.4% from previous, a minus 0.3% from previous month. I think that we might actually see a stabilization of the CAD GDP number here. So probably going to see a bit of a resumption of trend for CAD. And then moving on Wednesday, CAD PMI, not a big change here, it's still within that expansionary phase of 56.2. We've got a whole lot of US news, and then building permits, and then on Friday next week, we'll have the US non-farm payrolls together with some CAD labor employment data, but not the big ones. So you can see here that next week, we are probably going to see quite a bit of news on the CAD GDP numbers. We're going to see the non-farm payrolls with some Canadian employment numbers as well. All that put together means that in terms of the US CAD here on the H4 time frame, it is likely that we're going to see a little bit more of a volatile move. At this point, since last week, we've seen the CAD drop very significantly from 129.24, a good 300 pip drop downwards towards 126.13. At this point now, I think that over the next couple of days into next week, we're probably going to see the US CAD come down and test 126.13 again. I think we're going to see it come down and test 126.13, but I don't think that this is a tradable move. This is only a 60 pip move downwards. If you were to enter a trade to trade it down, your stop loss might be about, a comfortable stop loss would be about 80 pips. So you don't want to be risking 80 pips to try and make 60 pips. It's just not worth the risk. What I would be looking for is for it to move down. Let it test that 126.13 level, and at that support level, look for either for the CAD to bounce up off this point or for the CAD to break below of this point. At this level now, why am I giving you a two option scenario is because there's a lot of things happening globally. One, the whole virus situation. Two, the unrest in the Middle East, in Kabul, that could affect the US sentiment, and also with the economic numbers coming from the Canadian side, the GDP numbers, all that put together, what I would say most prudently is you can wait for it to come down, test that support level. If it bounces up above 126.32, you can be looking at a 30 pip stop loss for a good 90 pip take profit level towards the upside. You're looking at a 1:3 risk reward ratio towards the upside. And if it does break below this support level, you're looking at about a 125.84. You can look at a 40 pip stop loss for a good 120 pip take profit level. Again, a 1:3 risk reward ratio towards the downside. So if those of you who are following me on Facebook, you'll see my post recently. It's all about patience. You wait for the setup. You go through the analysis, you wait for the setup, let it come down, test the support level, see what happens before you decide whether to get into a buying opportunity or a selling opportunity. Either way, very good risk reward ratios for both trades. Back to you, Scott.
All right, thanks, Jen, and I'm sure you'll get back to me with that after I unintentionally put you in the hot seat there. But I guess to summarize, guys, what you saw at the start there was putting everything together, because in the 5-step program that we go through with how to learn how to trade a consistently profitable system, you've got to sort of understand how to put it all together. And that was a good example with incorporating the indicators as well. And another warning as well, guys, there is a lot of global uncertainty around. So again, be careful. If you're someone that has the tendency to size up a little bit on really good setups, maybe it's best if you potentially not, go with big sizing that you normally do, just because, like Jin mentioned just before, with the Kabul situation, we had a car bomb go off, we had the Jackson Hole, we had 12 US soldiers killed. It's just it really can skew the markets quite a little bit. But anyway, we've got Gim Hong up now, and he's just going to go through a trade idea for the higher time frame traders with a set forget system that he has.
All right, thank you, Scott. Happy Friday, everyone. Let's jump straight into the trade idea. Yep. long-term trade. This is a real long-term trade, I would say. Kiwi francs, RBNZ more hawkish than expected. Okay, long story short, as you guys know that the RBNZ, they decided to put on hold, okay, their rate hike plan due to, well, according to them, they say that it's due to the lockdown, right? So they stopped just there. So the market sentiment was pretty bad, for the New Zealand dollar, leading to a depreciation in the Kiwi. Okay. Now, I think it was earlier this week on Tuesday that the RBNZ Assistant Governor Christian Hawkesby, okay, he actually clarified that the whole holding back of rate hike was actually not due to COVID. Okay, it was actually due to communication challenges. Okay, what does he mean by that? So basically they find that it's kind of weird to say that we are going to increase interest rate on the day of the lockdown for the country itself. Okay, so that is the whole communication challenges that he refers to. Okay, it's how the central bank communicates with the public, okay, New Zealand country, on how this rate hike comes about, okay? So because of this thing, they actually decide to put on hold the rate hike. Now, so it's actually a good clarification, because the market was initially, thinking that it may be because of the Delta variant, the spike in the reported of new cases and things like that, that actually puts off the whole rate hike plan. But actually it's not, right? So it's actually a good news. Now, to add on to the good news, okay, Hawkesby actually mentioned that, the committee members were actually considering a rate hike of 0.5%. That is really, really, really a very hawkish, I would say, rate hike, okay, if they were to actually carry it out last week. Okay, so that actually, okay, so the clarification plus the higher than expected rate hike, okay, percentage by the central bank actually led to a strengthening in well, a rebound, I would say, okay, in the New Zealand dollar, okay? Now, let me just share the chart with you. Okay, so as you can see over, this region, this long bearish candle over here, okay, and the subsequent 2 or 3 bearish candles, okay, was when the RBNZ decided to hold rate unchanged at 0.25%, okay. So New Zealand dollar actually traded against the francs, okay, to the lowest level in 2021, okay. As you can see, well, the last time it actually traded lower was November of last year, okay. So yep, this year it actually traded to a low of 0.624, okay. Now, because of the clarification by Hawksby, okay, and hawkish message, it actually rebounded, okay. So I actually felt that it's actually a good opportunity for us to look for buying opportunities, okay. So I actually set a buy stop at let me do a quick check at 0.38 level, okay, with a stop loss of, now this is really a wide stop, okay, 160 pips, okay, and the take profit level is, if I'm not wrong, 200. Yes, it's 200 pips. So yeah, this is really a long-term trade. Not say that long-term, okay. It's more like if it actually goes up, and I'll reevaluate how everything goes. You know, if there's like further news coming out from the New Zealand side or the Switzerland side, you know. Well, personally, I don't feel that any that there's much major news coming from the Switzerland side of things, because the Swiss franc is right now, to be honest, is generally being traded as a safe haven currency. You know, it's not like the economic data releases from Switzerland is going to cause a big impact on the move of francs. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to supervise this trade and see how it goes. You know, if I may not actually be waiting for the 200 pips TP to be hit. Okay, so if there's any changes, you know, I'll update you guys on the ECOFIN group traders club. Okay, so yeah, with that, yeah, that's all for my sharing. I would like to make a final, I would say, yeah, a final note is that, yeah, Jackson Hole Symposium tonight, okay, it's at, well, it starts today, okay, but we are only going to pay much attention to what Jerome Powell, okay, the Fed chair, is going to say. So he will be talking at 2200 GMT plus 8, okay. Now, you guys are interested in, you know, if you guys need to, you know, have a review of, you know, what to take note for the symposium, okay, refer back to the currency call yesterday. I'm going to be pasting the link, okay. And if you guys are interested in Powell's speech tonight or later on today, okay, yeah, there is a live stream. I've also provided a live stream link. Otherwise, you know, just be careful when you're trading, you know, just keep your trade short as usual, because it's going to be high volatility during that period of time, okay. Now, with that, I'm going to update you guys again on what went down during the Jackson Hole Symposium next Monday, okay. Back to you, Scott.
All right, thank you, Gim Hong, for that. So, guys, as well, just a quick little recap. So in the chat, we have shared the link for the YouTube channel, where there's a lot of free educational material in regards to how to apply the systems that we teach into an actual real world trading situation. Everything is up there, guys, so please check that out. The link is the LCMS Traders YouTube. Now, we also have the link as well for the 5-step checklist as well. Trade ideas for the USD CAD were posted. And what we have now is Daniel will just go through Ethereum and Bitcoin in regards to what's looking good for a trade idea perspective, and just discuss what the LCMS Traders Club is all about as well. Over to you, Daniel.
Hey, thank you very much, Scott. Yes, what's happened for the cryptocurrencies right now, right? So let's look at the chart straight away. You know, when we look at the cryptocurrencies right now, it's really very interesting. I mean, last week we were talking about, we saw that there's a real nice pattern coming in, and Bitcoin was looking towards a 50,000 level range, remember? And as I said, it's a two-part series where first of all it needs to reach the 50,000. It did that. Unfortunately, at this strong resistance of 50,000, a lot of profit taking was happening, coming in. So I was looking at it as like, hey, profit taking seems to be predominantly. There are reports where a lot of Bitcoins are going back into the market, where they kept it by themselves and then they put it in the market. There could be a lot where profit taking could be happening. Now, I was thinking like, how do I see, is it going to be a possible retracement before a continual upward bullish momentum upwards, or will it continue down? As we've seen previously. So I was just looking at it, and I just did a Fibonacci level, and it's really very nice. I see the 23.6% retracement level was very nice at my 45,000 level. So now this tells me, it gives me additional confidence, that tells me that, hey, again, if it retests at 45,000 level, this is a reaction that we want to be able to see. Okay, so this is something that we'll look at. So I'm going to change that here. Let me delete all this away. That was last week's talk. So how we're looking at this one. So once you reach this 23.6 or the 45,000 level range, which is quite a key level for Bitcoin, we're going to react upwards. Okay, or if it breaks below this 45,000 level, then I would say there's to be no retracement coming in, or possibly even up to there's possibly, if you want to take a trade, I would say it can go to 61.8% where the previous low came in. Okay, so just bear in mind with that. Okay, so that's something you should take note of. Take note of here. This is what we can do. Looking at this here, what I'm seeing right now, if we zoom it in, okay, we're gonna zoom it in right now. You can see here that there's seems to be trying, buyers and sellers are around fighting strongly right now, and the buyers are trying to push up. So we've got to wait for the data to reach. I believe you're going to reach at 45,000 level, and then we're going to see how it moves. Okay, then for Ethereum is the same thing, following the big brother big brother here for the Bitcoin, right? So look at this coming in again, similar, waiting for it to break strongly above 3,300 before we look for a possible buy. Now it didn't do that, it just touched the 3,300 level before it comes back down, and then right now again similar, trying to fight it out. And if again similar, really very similar, you look at the Fibonacci task right now, it is coming to the 23.6 level. Now I would really say that similar to Bitcoin coming in, first level, is it going to tradable stuff. You've got the 23.6 level here. You could look for a push up towards the 3,300 level, about 300 price of 300 a profit coming in, before we even talk about breaking above 3,300 and shifting all the way to 4,150. So I think that will be 4,150 will be a long-term play. We have to wait for it to happen. So I'm going to see at 23.6% level. If it breaks upwards, if it bounces off, then it will be a very nice trade up to 3,300 level. Now if it doesn't, similar, you can see here, I think we'll go all the way to the resistance support level of 2,500 level, which is the 50 percentile range coming in. Now if it doesn't bounce off at 23.6, I would see a strong move down all the way to 2,500 level. So just watch out for this. It's not a very clear bullish or dovish sentiment coming in. I think it's a wait for the setup to happen, especially right now with the Jackson Hole Symposium. It also seems to be affecting the cryptocurrencies, probably some wait and see. But so once that's done, we'll see how it reacts according to that level. Like this Ether at 23.6, which is about 3,000 level range. We'll wait for that to happen, and if that's happening, then we'll see which directions it go, and we can trade that accordingly. Okay. Okay, let me stop share this here. Okay, and okay, so I hope I sound better now. Okay, so now let's see. Look at all these. We're talking about. I mean, the whole week. Everybody is talking about trade ideas and doing this. You must be wondering. Where are these? Where we train here, and we have. Is there a community right now? We have. Yes, we have. We have a big community here in LCMS Traders Club. You can see right now I'm sharing with you. It's a platform, a platform here where we have a trade, all the community, Forex community coming in. So let me introduce you to the LCMS Traders Club and our dedicated club platform where you see here right now. Now, this place is really for anyone who's serious about profitable in trading, right? We host a community of traders here where we can share ideas, strategies, monitoring the markets together. It's really being part of a professional trading firm. We have members here, so we got trading floor coming in where we can members that interact with each other. All our news coming in. We have see Scott sharing ideas, giving you summary of what currency call and what happened in the afternoon here. And then we have a lot of videos coming in. Kim Hong also sharing what he can see the link. The link he posted up. He was very happy to share the Jackson Hole Symposium coming in and many more down here. And not only that, we have the market watch list here. And the market watch list is a real idea where we look at all the coaches here and the analysts will be looking at all the ideas that we have, what's happening in the morning. So we have the daily currency analysis coming in, what we see in the morning for the various major currency pairs. We have Gene also put in what he thinks about this, like the rate hike deferment not deterred coming in, and also trade ideas. Everything will be placed down here just for the benefit for the members and the Forex traders. Okay, and then not only that, what we have here, we have we must be asking, hey, how do we analyze the trade? How do we do about doing it? Gene already shared the sharing on his YouTube channel, the 4-day FX Kickstarter. But if you want to dive in straight into it, we have the links of all 4 days, just specially for the members here to learn how we trade and how we look at the market together. And not only that, you saw me doing the Fibonacci retracement to make decisions, and we have it down here as well, telling you about how the Fibonacci chart patterns, trend series, divergence, candlestick patterns, and many more are right here. Yeah. Okay. Not only that, if you do come from the Telegram channel, guys, you notice that the signals comes a little bit late. Now down here in the LCMS Traders Club, we issued the trades 5 minutes earlier than anyone. Once we will first issue it here in the signal, so you can benefit from what we see in the market and a snapshot of what possible price movements could be doing. Now, not only that, we not only issue the signals here earlier, we also will put in, the analysis, why we take the trades, give you an idea of a bit of a 5 steps analysis based on the 4-day course, what Gene has taught everyone. Here, we look at it and why we take the trades. And you can see here, if every time we hit the signals, TP1, TP2, TP3, we will actually issue the idea whether to hold or to secure your profits. Like for example, at 60 pips, we tell you to secure the profits in TP3. What we do so, it's really very good. So not only you can earn from the signals, you can learn how we trade better here. Okay, and not only that, let me show you all the features that we have in this platform. We have lots of widgets here where we have the calendar. If you are on this platform already, you could go to this calendar and plan your trades accordingly. Know what surprises is going to come in, what news is going to come in, what has happened, and it's going to trade and plan your trades accordingly. And not only that, what I personally like about here is the data flash. The data flash here gets the news when it's released, right? We notice that the news release gets earlier than anyone else or all the free channels out there. So you actually have alert. It tells you, hey, it gives you a bling and then tells you that what's the data coming in. So this is a fantastic thing that we use to see. We also have the FX heat map. Really, at one glance, coming in, you can see which is which currency is strengthening against the other currency pairs, and then you can see the plan and see which currency focus pairs you want to be focusing on for your trading. Right, so it's really very good. And not only that, it's not here, but on Monday and Wednesdays. Monday we have a group coaching sessions for all the community members, where together we will come together and look at a possible whole week trades or any questions that you might have related to Forex. We can answer your questions immediately. And on Wednesdays, live trading sessions. We have live trading sessions looking at the market, look at what possible trade immediately in the evening for the US market to be happening. Now, these two sessions literally can guide you through market conditions and can make profits together. Now, you must be wondering, how do we join this club membership? This club membership and access is really worth thousands coming in. Excuse me. So, what we are looking at. Let me get the link right now. Where? Let me do this. Okay, nope. Maybe I say open it up here. You got to go to LCMS Traders SG, Traders Club LCMS.com.sg. Coming in here, and you can see this is a chance to join right now. Scroll all the way down and click on this button. Join us at only $49 a month. Okay, so again, it's at www.tradersclub.lcms.com.sg. Now, I tell you, this is really without a doubt the least you must do to achieve your best in trading. So this price can change anytime. So click on this button, fill up right then, and get on board now. And I'll see you in the club.
All right. Thanks very much for that, Daniel, as well. And thanks everyone for joining us today, this Friday. Hope to see everyone back on Monday for the Aussie and Kiwi analysis. Have a great weekend, and bye for now, guys.